You're muted. You're muted.
And there we go, and I'm muted. Anyway, welcome to Infinite Odysseys. This is kind of an experimental RPG show that we've been wanting to do for a while. So I decided, no time better than the present to kind of get this going. This is a session 0, so we're going to fumble around. We're going to make some mistakes, so, need to forgive us on that.
Oh, we're going to make lots of mistakes.
So tonight we are actually playing a game called Vaesen. We're probably going to be doing... Vaesen?
Vaesen or Vaesen?
It can go either way. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Call our Swedish friend. He might be able to help us.
Vaesen sounds like it's more linguistically correct, so yeah, that's just my thought.
Yeah. Either way, Vaesen, that's our show. We're all going to discuss Swedish language. All right, well, thank you. We're out now. Anyway, back to it. This is a game that has an interest. I mean, first of all, when I heard about the game, I instantly fell in love. So it is a horror mystery game. It takes place in the early to mid 19th century Scandinavia, where there are creatures that are referred to as Vaesen. They are, and they're not monsters per se, and like how we think about in Call of Cthulhu. They're not ancient deep ones, or they're not your orcs or goblins. Although there are some things there that are from various mythology, especially Scandinavian, and there is a supplement for British. But you're going to see more traditional monsters. So imagine, I guess the best way to put it is a 19th century Call of Cthulhu-like game taking place in Scandinavia. But there's a lot more mystery solving. There's a lot more, I think, than Call of Cthulhu, which just tends to, even though you try to do as much investigation as you can, I think it ultimately at some point everyone pulls out their guns and tries to kill you. So that's kind of how it goes. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and play the game. Each of us have selected a character in order to play. Vaesen uses the Year Zero engine rule set from Free League, which it powers a lot of their systems. So like the Alien RPG, Dragonbane, they're all pretty much kind of based on the Year Zero engine in one way, shape, or another, which is actually very easy. I'm seeing someone. I'm just watching in chat here. This guy won't post link because it's all about him. I'm sorry. I don't know who Jimmy Rizzo is. Yeah, well, Jimmy Rizzo. Sorry, I don't know what you need. Anyway,
maybe he thought he would get to play.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think I said that, but whatever.
No.
All right.
I'm just confused.
Yeah, we got a heckler.
That's how it's spelled.
Anyway, anyway, that was really confusing. Anyway.
Sounds like a skill issue.
No. Get good at streaming, scrub.
So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and have everyone kind of introduce their characters. And who they are, and then we'll kind of just jump into the game. And like I said, this is going to be a little shaky here and there as we kind of get used to a format of how we want to do this going forward. But I am going to swing. Let's see, can I bring this over into the camera view? No, I'm going to have to actually share it. All right, so let's see here. Present. Well, I have to stop sharing and do this. All right, this is probably better if I do this in something like OBS Studio going forward, but
someone is seeking attention somewhere.
This sounds like it.
That was Mr. Leo.
Oh, Leo.
All right, so Gwen, we're going to start with you. Yep. So would you want to introduce your character?
All right, I'm going to learn about my character as well, because I didn't look into this beforehand, aside for, some little things. Her name is Valentina Backlund. She is a... Why did you say middle twice? She's a middle-aged occultist, and her motivation is learning about Vaesen. Her trauma is that she was almost burned alive as a witch by her own family. And my dark secret is that I am gay. I can relate to that.
All right. So, and honestly, with most of the characters, the motivation, trauma, and dark secret are this has a very narrative feel to it. So it's not like you really need to go down. It's like, oh, with a physique of 3, I can lift a truck or anything like that. So that's great. All right. So why don't we go ahead and move on to Terry, who I believe is playing our
middle-aged academic.
Yep.
Astrid Eklund. My motivation is proving my critics wrong because I can totally associate with that. You're wrong. My trauma was watching my partner being torn apart by a giant. That's sweet, isn't it? Let's see. I do have a journal of from my dead husband, so that's useful. So I imagine that I'm going to be a research person, is what this looks like based on the skills, honestly.
All right. And we're now going to go down to our last character, Bryce.
Oh, yeah. So unrelated note. Now that I actually see how the game is spelled, in Swedish, you pronounce each vowel separately. So it would actually in Swedish be pronounced Vaesen. But I don't think anybody wants to keep calling that throughout the whole stream.
Yeah, it does seem. I listened to it online and it was like, oh yeah, that's going to be awkward trying to pronounce that. No.
But let's see here. Who I'm playing? I'm actually playing Victor Afblake. He is a young county clerk, or a young priest. He's been seeing some very, very unfortunate things that a young priest should never see. Let's see. His motivation is to cleanse his tarnished soul. And why is his soul tarnished, you might ask? I'll tell you. His trauma was he watched a church grim tear apart some thieves trying to steal the church's silver. And his dark secret, shouldn't
you keep your dark secret secret?
I could.
Or you could be like me and just walk in being fabulously gay.
Yeah. No. Actually, I'll keep my dark secret secret.
Ooh.
So no one saw it on the screen. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So
nobody looked at any of the character sheets you sent them, so we don't know anybody's dark secrets.
Oh, I looked at him late at night with the magnifying glass.
We try not to get around to what you do late at night, Bryce.
All right. And actually, this picture here, this weird-looking cat, that is actually a church grim.
Oh. I like it.
Meow.
So I am going to move this over here, and then
very Kazinti feel about him. So
your characters know each other through correspondence. It's not that you have lived in the same town. It's a possibility that you have known each other. We really didn't get that far into getting the characters together, but that doesn't matter. Each of you, through your traumatic experience, has found that you have something referred to as the sight. The sight is the ability to, see things out of the ordinary. I don't know if anyone had seen the TV series Grimm.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of what the sight is. You're able to see things that normal people don't see. You can see sometimes into the mystical realm. You can see creatures, ghosts, things that others would just kind of call you crazy or a heretic because of that. Now, because we are in the early 1800s of Scandinavia, Scandinavia at this point is going to be is really a combination of heavy Christian, but there's still pockets of the land that still practice the old pagan faiths. So it's a good mixture of things. So while you have some people who would totally understand if you started talking about redcaps, as to where you would have others that would be sure to want to lock you up in an asylum or excommunicate you as a heretic and all the fun stuff that comes along with that. But the three of you, the priest, the academic, and the occultist, all of you have kind of found each other, possibly through even like a newspaper, where someone had written in about something and then you had written back, and ultimately you kind of forged a friendship amongst each other, going through the post and getting the mail, and so just communicating in that method of
We're
things.
pen pals.
Yeah, you're pen pals. You also, so you receive your mail through something called Posten AB, which I don't know if it's Posten AB, but the AB actually stands for holding company. I did a little bit of research.
I believe it's just AB.
It's just AB?
Mm-hmm.
But one day, each of you receive a letter. Actually, a very almost blank envelope. It didn't particularly say who it was from, but stamped on the front, or handwritten. I'm sure they had stamps in the early 1800s.
Pretty sure they did.
It's basically stamped Uppsala Asylum. Uppsala is a city to the north from where you're at. It's a possibility that one of your characters is from there or may have visited, but it's a very Christian conservative town to the north, is what you know. But they do house one of the largest mental asylums in that particular area. When you open the letter, you receive a message from a woman who goes by the name of Lena Etheklind. I'm probably mangling that, but that is my best that is my best pronunciation. She writes a very simple note saying that we seem to share the same ability to see what is bad in people, to see what is good in people, and to see the things that are unexplained. I have a proposition for you. And she basically sets a time and date at the Uppsala Asylum to meet and talk with her. And that's where that's where the letter ends.
Well, I kind of want to proceed with caution with that, because, like, what if she's trying to put me in the asylum? What if it's a trick?
It's a valid point, but yeah, and it's also a mental asylum as well. So but it was a very it was a very nice letter. It wasn't like written in crayon or blood or or in like beans smashed onto a piece of parchment or something. It was actually a very eloquently written letter. But she does set a time and date. Each of you received this letter. It says the same exact thing and gives the same exact time and date. So I'm assuming we're probably all going to go, because this would be a very short game if you didn't.
Yeah. We're just going to pass up on that.
All right. So I'm going to bring up a map here of Uppsala. So Uppsala is a city that once was like a giant farming city that pretty much was ruled by nobility, and as basically the church came in and started building up, became more residential and less farm. But like I said, it's kind of morphed itself into a very conservative city of sorts. So that the asylum is at the southern tip. So pretty much once you enter, The weather has been quite bad, and obviously there are no cars at this point, so you would be traveling either by horse and carriage, depending on your station, or you'd have a horse, or you would manage to get there somehow. Now, I believe that our priest has some funds, according to your character sheet. The
Yes.
occult, yes, I believe the academic also has money.
I don't know that I have much. It says that I'm pretty poor.
Okay.
And I'm looking online. I don't see that in Roll20. So if we're supposed to see that map, I don't know that we can.
Oh, you might have to set it as the active map.
Yeah.
You gotta move the little like bookmark.
They actually took that away.
What?
Yeah, I can't find it. Says start, and then there used to be a ribbon here. Maybe
I see a gold bookmark on.
Is there? They changed the color.
Yeah, stealthy. And it didn't work.
Now it won't slide over. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Now
yeah,
everyone
it's
should see the map. All right.
Yeah.
A map! I see something. Okay.
It's a map.
This is why it's session 0, and
Figuring out the little.
Oh, sure, we've seen the map. That's how we speak here in whatever country we're in.
So each of you make your way the best way you can up to the asylum. Whether it's, you manage to find like farmers that are heading up north, and you kind of hop in the back of a hay bale, a buggy or something, or you were able to afford the carriage yourself. But it was an intriguing proposition, and led you up there. So you all arrive around the same time, and again, since you're all corresponding pen pals, you would have all written each other ahead of time and saying, "Hey, did you get this letter? I did. All right, let's coordinate meeting up there." So you would end up meeting up at the same time with each other outside the asylum. The asylum is a very large stone, and it looks like it was made in different time periods. So like the center is a lot more modern than the wings, that as they kind of stretch out off to the side. But a lot of it's plaster. A lot of it has a lot of it's like old wooden structures. But anyway, being an asylum and with the lanterns hanging out as they are, and it is kind of a rainy, cold day, it just doesn't make it that any more appealing than anything else. So how would you like to approach?
Gosh, it's so comfortable looking. I'm almost ready to just move in.
Yeah.
Until you hear the screams coming from inside.
Oh boy.
I guess, Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, you hear all these people buying churches and living in them. I wonder if anybody buys asylums to move into.
Only if you got a large family.
And you'd like to lock some of them away for a while.
I'll just go ahead and let me take a look. See, there's a note on my character if it was I had access to a carriage or if I owned a carriage. Either way, I'll just have the carriage drop me off there, and then whoever is greeting me or at the thing, I'll let them know that I was bring the letter with me and say that I've had an invitation from such and such individual.
Well, when you arrive nice and dry into your carriage, you're probably looking at your two pen pals standing out in the rain with their letters, probably the ink dripping off of them.
Oh God! Oh, apparently I have a pet dog that comes with me everywhere as well.
Fluffy.
Yeah.
So this really nice carriage pulls up with this like fancy pants young priest with a little yap dog. Is he a little yap dog, or is he a...
Oh no, because he's got combat stats. He's this giant this giant like Rottweiler or something similar. His name is Cherub.
Okay. I swear I thought you were gonna say Great Dane. It's like, wow, you became like the 19th century Norwegian Scooby Gang.
No,
I totally think we should do that.
no,
We
it's
totally should do that.
now.
It's the mystery carriage.
Oh God.
I love it.
Ah, we're gonna have to get
Compliment Gwen's
Swedish
character,
snacks.
orange
We're gonna have to
attire
get
and
Swedish snacks for everybody.
All right, but you do actually meet outside in the rain at the asylum. So what you're saying though is the priest is going to just walk straight up to the doors, open them, and then see who's inside.
Yeah, exactly. If there's no one, no foot. Well, I'll knock first.
Okay.
Oh wait, this is a church, not the asylum, right?
No,
It's an asylum.
Yeah, this is
Oh, okay. Yeah, and there's no front desk or anything.
Well, I mean, you got to enter the building. Right now, you haven't even entered the building yet.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I rolled a walk.
I will enter the building as well.
Yeah, it's good just to get out of the rain. It is incredibly drenched outside. The ground is muddy. Even the carriage had a hard time pulling up into the front of it. The inside smells definitely of like odd, like incense. It smells of, you get that faint BO, and it also smells of kerosene because of the lamps that are affixed to the walls at this point. I mean, there is other methods of lighting, but especially this far north, you're going to see a lot more oil lamps and things like that. Anyway, yes, you are greeted. There is a front desk area that looks like it has at least 3 or 4 nurses, kind of, the classic big kind of pointy, whiffled looking nurse hats. And I don't know if whippled looking is kind of the correct term, but you know what I'm talking about, right? That classic.
Whipples. Yeah.
And speaking of whipples, you do see nuns that are walking down the hallways. Inside is pretty pristine, though. You're looking at marble floors, beautiful wood, paneling and stairways and things that are going up. But one of the nuns at the front desk will come up and say, "Can I help you?" "Oh, Father, can I help you?" It just completely ignores you two and looks at the priest and just goes, "Father, can I help you?"
Oh, I introduce myself and my compatriots and explain the situation. Show them the letter. Going, oh yes, we've received. The thing. I believe they're expecting us.
Oh, Leanna. Oh, she smiles. She's not officially a resident here, but she does check herself in from time to time. She is such an odd character, but
She's not a member of the staff.
no, she is a patient here, but not a committed patient. She's just someone who comes in and stays with us for short stays. She's a very sweet old woman, a little off, but I'd be happy to take you to her room. I believe she is expecting you. She did say that she had visitors that were coming. So the nun will walk up. She will grab a set of keys and like a big ring of keys and kind of put them on her belt. And
Then she flies away.
And walk with you down the halls. Again, the halls are pretty clean. You see some people sitting in kind of those old school high back wheelchairs that they had back then. They're kind of like, sitting in the hall. There's a couple of gurneys, but other than that, I mean, there's no like crazy people running down the hallways naked or anything at this point. You do hear some You do hear some babbling and things coming from rooms, some like just laughter that gets a little bit of chill, As you get closer, okay, I just need to find something here. So give me a second. I think it's on. Let's see. I think it's on. There we go. So as you get closer to the area, she starts slowing down. She's looking for some keys. You hear a woman's voice, an older woman, singing. And what she's singing seems to be over and over again as you kind of get closer to the room. And she's singing, Monday's child is fair of face. Tuesday's child is full of grace. Wednesday's child is full of woe. Thursday's child has far to go. Friday's child is loving and giving. Saturday's child works hard for a living. And the child that is born on the Sabbath day is bonny and blithe and good and gay. And he continues to sing basically sing song this over and over again. And you come to a door that kind of doesn't look like the rest of the doors. Like this one actually looks like it might be a hotel door, because the other ones had slots where you can look in, or some of them even had those little slots where you can put food in, because you don't, someone might grab you and kill you. But this one looks like more like a hotel door, and the nun takes the ring of keys. She knocks first, takes the keys, unlocks the door, and opens it, and you actually see this.
Aw, it's Granny.
You see this woman here, sitting in a high back chair.
Just recall that we can't see that unless you share it with us.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. I said show to players, and it says shared with me. So let's see. Oh, because let's see here. I'll just do all players. Let's try that. Save changes, and now show to players.
I see it. It's Granny.
It is Granny.
So
Gran.
This woman is sitting in a high back chair. The room that she's in is sparsely furnished. One of the things that's really kind of off-putting about the decorations in this room is that they're a mixture of like Roman Catholic and pagan symbolisms, like just all over the room. It's really, really strange. She has a Bible next to something that possibly could be considered a Book of Shadows.
Could I study some of this?
We'll both hold Bryce back to keep him from losing his cool.
Die, heretic.
Yeah. Actually, am I Catholic or am I Protestant?
That is a good question.
During the time frame that you're there, it's going to be one or the other. So when they say state religion, they're pretty firm on that.
Yeah.
So I will leave it up to you. Protestant.
I'm going to say Roman Catholic for right now.
Okay. All right, for now, you change. You flip. You're a switch.
But he's a Lutheran. Oh no!
I see she is suckling at the teats of the whore of Rome.
But she is a very old woman. You would probably say that she might be in her 70s, if not older. And again, for this time frame, 70 is a pretty long life.
Mm-hmm.
She smiles and waves at the nurse to leave the room. Not the nurse, the nun. And the nun looks at you and says, "Father, I'm not going to lock the door, but I am going to close it behind you."
Oh, I thank her.
And the nun kind of backs out of the room and closes the door shut. And she goes, "It is always a pleasure to meet other Thursday's children. You know, there are not many of us who have the sight and can see the things that others are not meant to see."
Out of character question.
Yeah.
In our correspondence beforehand, we've all discussed with one another that we have seen things beyond.
Yes.
Okay. So this isn't like the first.
Yeah, no. You all know that you have special abilities. But yeah, it's something you don't make known outside of your circle.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow this woman had caught on that you had this ability and reached out to you. So she says, Thursday's children, it is always wonderful to meet others that share the same vision and sight that that I do. I am sorry for being rude. I am Linnea. I am the one who called you here and brought you to Uppsala. Believe me, I'm not trying to waste your time, and what I'm about to offer you may be of interest, and if not, I apologize. So, a few hundred years ago, there was a society that was put together. The society were like yourselves. They were individuals who had an ability to see things. Their first gathering, the Order of Artemis, studied creatures that we'll refer to as we'll call Vaesen, and wrote chapters and followed. And if there was problems with them, they would instantly shoo them away. They would make sure that they didn't interfere with man, or man didn't interfere with them. It's not one-sided. Monsters are not the only things that cause problems. Humans, well, they cause problems as well. But in the early 18th century, it's about 100 years ago, a scientist by the name of Carl Linnaeus left his home here in Uppsala and went on a scientific expedition to northern Sweden. We're not sure if he possessed the site, but he definitely returned with it, and he took over as the leader of the Order of Artemis, and well, the name was changed to the Society. The Society had seen much strife amongst its members over the years, a lot of arguments, a lot of division, a lot of people that were not in it for the right reasons. But ultimately, after a nasty fire and some falling out, well, the society became no more. The society was located here in Uppsala. So north of where we are now, there is a castle that was used as the base of operations. Castle Geilenkreuz, and I'm probably mispronouncing that as well. What I am here to suggest and offer you are the keys to the lands of the castle. It is yours.
Oh.
I would like to see the society reborn by those who have the sight, for those who have a passion for finding these oddities in the world and watching after them and watching after mankind as well. So that is why I brought you here, to make you an offer of the castle grounds, the library, which is quite expansive, and there are other parts of the castle that could be renovated or rebuilt. It's been some damage and some time since it's been used, but the castle would be yours as long as the society was, came back.
I don't mean to look a gift horse in the mouth, but is there a catch?
The only catch is that you use the resources that are given to you to help solve the mystery of the things that are unexplained. That is all. I am probably one of the last members of the original society. But my time for doing this and my visions grow weak. You are young. You you can go out there and take over where others have failed or others have left off.
Well, I'll definitely accept this. I don't know about the other two, but
I am certainly willing to do my part. I do worry that the upkeep on a castle is very expensive.
fair point.
Well, we'll say that the society has its ways of taking care of its own, and there will be funding and ways to the bigger the society grows, the more the name grows, the more that people are involved, the more that you'll find things come easy. The society has always been a good mixture of Catholic, pagan, and Greek traditions and ritual, and there are many who keep their eyes on its doings, which means that there is funding. I mean, the castle lands are still owned by the society. Actually, I am the holder of the property right now, but I'm willing to hand it over to someone younger and someone who can bring back what was lost.
So you have the paperwork then to make us the beneficiaries, the de facto owners of this castle.
Yes. I mean, you will have to deal with Algot, but
Algot
Frisk, he is the steward of the castle.
Oh, I see.
His family has served the society for hundreds of years. He is a descendant of those who have watched over the society and its doings. And he kind of comes with the castle, I guess, as you would say, but he is just there to be the steward, and he knows his way around and is able to manage things quite well. So in that regard, you won't even have to worry too much about the day-to-day. You just need to use the society's resources and live in the castle.
And you have the papers available here?
I would be happy to sign it over after you have agreed and repeated the the society's creed with me.
Oh, and what is the society's creed?
It's an allegiance, as it were, to...
Oh, I know what a
duty.
creed is. That's I'm more concerned about what I would be pledging allegiance to.
Well, I will go ahead and let you know what I will repeat the society's creed, and you can acknowledge if you feel sound about it. I solemnly swear not to be corrupted, bloodied, or weakened by the spawn of the underworld. I swear not to let my mind be muddled, clear of eye, keen of thought, pure of deed. I swear to put the society before my own ambitions and emotions, my life for my comrades. I pledge my life to you, holy Artemis, for the battle against Vaesen and the protection of mankind.
I can swear that.
I repeat the oath.
As do I.
I have a problem with swearing an oath to a pagan deity, as I'm sure you can understand, ma'am.
Yes, but you have to understand that there were many like yourselves in the society. It does not mean that you have to put sacrifice before Artemis or such. It's just she is the god. She is the patron goddess. And if I remember correctly, with the Roman Catholics,
there's only one god. With respect, ma'am.
Where's my ejector seat? Now,
Poof, gone.
She goes, well, at least go along. The society definitely needs a chaplain.
Well, I will Do as I say, and I will make this swear unto the Blessed Virgin Mary.
Very well. I will have my lawyers write up the deed and put it into your names. And you may take the trip up to the castle now. She reaches into like her desk drawer and pulls out these like large keys. Obviously, there'll be someone there to open the door for you, but I guess this is symbolic of some ways. And she hands you a key ring that has, kind of the old school long keys on it.
So I guess now's the time, if the door's shut, that we put the pillow over her face. And then...
Oh, come on.
I don't know. She had a fit. She was so old and frail.
You know,
Corrupt
I
priest.
don't know that you're living up to that cassock, Father.
Or I'm living a little bit way too. All right, Kays, we now got this going. Yeah.
All right. So she will hand you the keys. She said that expect a solicitor to come to the door, and I think I'm using the right term, right? Lawyers were also referred to as solicitors.
Yes,
okay.
solicitors.
Yeah. So she said she'll have a solicitor come to the door within the next couple of days, but the castle is yours, and that Algot should be expecting you when you arrive.
Okay.
So
the name sounds dead on like a villain.
So in the grand scheme of things, just out of character, so in the game, after every adventure, so the way experience works is I ask you each questions after the adventure, and depending on which ones are yes or no, that's going to equal to what experience that you gain for that session. And then you can either use the experience to go up, or you can hold on to it, if you're trying to do something else. But with the castle is the same way. The castle also gains experience as you use it and do things there. So also at the end of the adventure, I will ask you questions related to the castle. You will also gain experience for the castle, and with that, you can do upgrades. So right now, your castle has 2 upgrades attached to it, which is, let's see here. All right. You get, the Steward is one of them, and the other one is the Society Library. So those upgrades have already been given to you. So you can actually, when you go there and do work, you can use the library and the books that are available there to do any research.
Nice.
All right. So she bids you farewell. She says we may or may not meet again in this lifetime, but at least if she dies, she knows that the society is in good hands, and that you will do your best to return the good to the world.
I'll make a note to visit her once a week.
All right. So you're basically led out of the hallways from the nun back to the main lobby area of the asylum, and she says, "Do you have a carriage or something to?" It is raining outside.
We can call for one.
I got the priest.
All right.
Says the priest, with the only one with access to a carriage.
Of course, I'll give all of you room. Little Chub will have to sit on your laps, but
So we'll just say that you managed to get in the carriage. You head up to the castle. So
I give the dog plenty of pets.
let's see here. Where is the castle? There's map of the land. I thought I had maybe. Hold on. I know that I did a
Are you looking in the right section?
of the castle. It's in here somewhere. Well, I'll show map of the land, because that's no, damn it, I gotta edit this again. I'll get better at this. all players.
Where the default is just you and not like everybody.
It is very odd. So if you see the lands there, all right. So this is kind of the area that you're in. Uppsala is up here. Here's the rest of the various lands around it. I could have swore I did a map of which I guess I didn't, of all the things that I wanted to do. So anyway, I do eventually have a map of the castle, and I'll share that with you. But you can just get an idea, look it over, and if you get as things go on, if we were doing a longer campaign, you would then go, all right, well, I want to revive this room, I want to revive that room. But for now, it is just a very impressive, very large castle, probably built sometime in the I want to say early 1700s. So it almost has that kind of that almost like storybook look to it. How castles were designed in that time frame. So kind of like the Disney castle sort of thing. It's very, very fancy, although in very much disrepair. You can definitely tell where areas are boarded up. Some areas are just basically kind of just not even passable, but the front walkway is very well kept. Long story short, I will say that you do get to meet Algot Frisk, who is the steward of the castle. He manages to, so he's basically like your Alfred. He's the one who takes care of everything, make sure that the grounds are taken care of at least the best as possible, that things are paid for, and he does prepare at least a meal or two a day. So, but there are rooms for you to stay there, so you will get a place to sleep and a small stipend. But nothing really happens within the first month. I mean, other than letting you just kind of run around. Obviously, for those who are into books, there are just, the library here is phenomenal. It's like one of those libraries that has the multi-level and you have to move the ladder on the wheels over and climb up to the next level. So that is the level.
Yeah, my character is going to be living in the library.
Same.
Big comfy chairs, big fireplace, and things like that.
It's a dream come true.
There's also even though it needs to have a little work done to it, there is a chapel there. I mean, you definitely need to probably renovate it, but
it will be done after I'm done getting rid of all the heretical books. And
you shall not get rid of any books.
This library is so warm and comfy with this fire going.
But with that said, you do receive a letter. Probably a month in. So after a while, when you're sitting
share
there, just
the letter with us
going,
because we can't read it.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna share this. This is episode 0. Remember? All right. There we go. So you do receive this letter.
Oh boy.
When you that comes in the mail, it says A Dance of Dreams. It looks like it's some sort of like ad for some sort of play going on, but it says a shadow play of horror, murder and revenge. Let yourself be entrapped and terrified by shadow theater with clockwork as amazing as that of the master's constructions on the continent. Watch as evil smiles, good people go to their doom, and spirits come to life. Follow Oscar Hjort's encounter with the Black One, his struggle, and finally the betrayal which claimed his life. Here are the tunes of the enchanted flute that send souls dancing to hell. The show will premiere shortly at the Witch's Cat Inn, not for the faint of heart. And at the bottom, written in it basically written in another type of handwriting. It says, "Meet me tonight at the Witch Cat Inn," and it's signed Olas.
Strange.
I believe we have an appointment.
I believe so. I guess we are castle owners and playgoers now.
So so this right here is probably this is probably your first mystery. So does anyone want to do anything before making your way to the Witch's Cat Inn?
I'm going to read a little bit more about maybe I'm sure that we've got plenty of periodical, well, not exactly, they didn't have periodicals back then, but a collection of newspapers that were nearby. Do you hear anything else about this this theater group?
All right, so we are going to go ahead and do our first roll. So this is going to be a learning test. So on your character sheets, you are going to go ahead and go down to your skills.
Okay.
And you should see one that says learning with logic in parentheses. Now you may or may not have dice in it or a number next to it, but it is based on a stat. So you will at least have the core thing for that. So I want everyone to go ahead and roll learning.
La la la, learning.
All right, so Valentina has 0.
Damn.
All right, Terry gets 1.
Okay, bear with me.
Was there a bonus to this? Because I don't recall.
I don't believe so.
Okay,
No.
good. Good.
Oh, interesting. Looks like I've got to open that up in another window. Sorry, my Roll20 is running really slowly.
It's okay.
Okay, now let's try that learning roll again. As it crawls its way down. God, this is like internet of 1993. Oops.
So / roll. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll do an old fashioned. Do it the old roll d6.
So what do you have in your what do you
Learning
have
is just 0.
Okay, so it's going to be based on your logic. So roll the amount of d6s that you would have on your logic.
Okay. Oh, good Lord.
I can tell you if you need to, or
No problem. I'll open this in another browser.
Victor as fuck.
Yeah.
That's what the I don't know. Every time I see AF, that's all I can think of. Your logic is 4, so roll 4d6 and tell me how many 6s you get.
Okay.
None.
Oh, so you actually made the roll? Oh, you did it on here. All right. So yeah, so no 6s. So the one thing that you can do if you'd like is you can give yourself a condition. They are temporary and they do go away. But you could say, for example, put yourself on the condition chart. So take a in this case it would be mental, and you would go ahead and check off angry, and I'd be able to go ahead and pull some information. Otherwise, it looks like the academic is the one who's basically finding all the cool stuff.
And that makes sense.
All right. So do you want
Which
to take
does make sense, yeah.
You want to take a condition to get information, or just?
No, I'll keep even keeled and let the academic do what he does.
How about the
Yeah.
occultist?
I'll also let the. I feel it's too early to begin crippling myself, so I will let the academic handle it.
And the academic is, by the way, a her, not a he.
Right, that's right.
All right.
Don't
so,
let this beard fool you.
He's got some dwarven ancestry.
I was about to say that.
All right. So we'll just say that the academic has pointed you all to various books and, like papers and things like that where you can kind of glean some information. So the name Olas or Olas K might refer to a private detective in Uppsala by the name of Olas Klint. He owns a small house in the middle of the city, and he made himself he made his name by being an expert in cases involving the occult. So he's also someone who dabbles in occult. You know that the Witch Cat Inn is at the crossroads north of the town of Sigtuna. And when the society was rebuilt after the Great Fire at the end of the 18th century, the inn was used as a gathering place by the original society. The former owner, a man by the name of Piri Harjula, was a Thursday's child. The inn today is actually ran by Piri's grandson. So there is some ties to the society at this place. The name Oscar Hjort, which is mentioned in the missive, he was a writer and spent some time in Paris, as far as you know. He was also a famous shadow. He put on shadow plays for the court at Versailles, and at the.
You mean at Versailles?
Versailles, thank you. And hey, I'm horrible at this. And now I feel like I'm going to mess up this one. Palais, Palais.
I don't know that one.
Or it might be just Palace. So I will pronounce it Palace Royale. So he was Oscar Hjort, who was mentioned in the missive, was a famous an actor who did shadow plays. And shadow theater, as all of you would find out to be, is an art form that comes from Italy from around the 18th century. And what it was is they would put up a sheet of some sort,
Okay.
and they would have puppets that they would put behind a bright light, and you would see shadows. And sometimes they would have clockwork things to make things move across. So it's basically puppets done behind a large sheet. So that is the information that, thanks to your academic, has managed to pull down for you.
I see. The shadow puppet thing is just nothing but a young gimmick.
Question.
Uh-huh.
Could I look into specifically the Dance of Shadows? Like the play?
The Dance of Shadows. Da, da, da.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a learning.
Let's see if I can get anything.
If you ask the the librarian, if you ask the researcher to dig, maybe she can find something as well.
Also, ask you like, hey, I'm curious about this play actually, and if it has any like second meanings. I got nothing.
Wow.
I got 2 5s. Oh,
And-
There is nothing there.
Yeah. So right now you're unsure. There's nothing in the books and the library and your other resources asking around that that gives you that information.
Damn. RNG is a bit.
Dana, are you a
today.
French-speaking mofo? Because I am definitely not.
I am vaguely due to the area that I grew up in.
All right, but that
Oh,
is
she is Canadian, so
true. But that is the information that you managed to pull from the from your research at the castle.
Well, I actually grew up right across from a French immersion school.
is that where they drowned French people?
No.
Well, in that case, I think it's time to put on our proper our evening clothes and go make a call on Mr. Olaf.
So I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit of text here, but in this part of the game you gain an advantage. So it is something that's individual to you. The game master usually gives it to you, but it's a it's a specific like skill or a situation that gives you a +2 dice to a certain like a roll. You get it once per session until the adventure's over. So every time you start a new mystery, you gain a new advantage, and then that advantage stays with you. You get to use it once a session, which basically means that you can roll 2 dice. So an advantage might be and again, just to throw it out there, like I am and it should fit in with the story, and this one doesn't fit in with the story so far, but like I am a fencing major, and or I practiced fencing in college, and I'm one of the best. So you might be able to use that to get +2 dice if you're going to use your rapier during the session or whatnot. So it's a little hard. So we may actually it's supposed to be done in the beginning, but I think since none of you actually really know your characters really well enough yet to kind of make that call, unless you can think of anything that would be useful from your background.
Okay, I see the talents here, so I guess those things.
Yeah,
in
those are things you have already. Yes. So
okay.
Use observations for seances.
yeah. So please read your talents and such too, because I'd hate for you to like miss an opportunity to actually do something your character can do.
Yeah, it's supposed to just remembering what they do.
What's that?
It's supposed to just remembering what they do. Like conjuring tricks makes first impressions. Medium lets me talk to the dead. Strike fear makes me scare people.
So I should have gained a +2 learning when we were doing stuff in the library?
Oh.
Oh, we'll
Apparently?
see. If you read your character, you get all kinds of cool stuff. So I don't know if there's any advantages. And like I said, I won't hold you to doing them now because, like I said, you're just now going, oh, I have talents. But next time we pick up, I think we should be able to do that. So I think what I'll do is not head on the journey to the inn at this point in time, since we did set a hard time for 10 o'clock for stopping. So what we'll do is stop here. I will go ahead and make sure that each of you have access to the clues, because I know next week we're all gamers. It's going to be like, all right, so remember the clues that you guys picked up? No.
Nope.
What was that? Is these clues you speak of?
But I will say between now and the next session to go ahead and read the characters, read your talents. I have made available to you, or if I have not, I will make available to you the book rules so you can kind of look it over. But like I said, it's pretty simple. You just end up rolling d6s. You're looking for 6s. You can take conditions to try to push rolls, or you can get conditions if you start, bad things start happening to you. And it's a pretty narrative game.
Mm-hmm.
But this week was very much a session 0 because I wanted to see how Streamyard did as far as like doing an RPG stream. I don't know. Like not completely thrilled with because the thing is that the screen one is too small.
Yeah.
And even if you do some configurations, like I can do that, but that still doesn't make the screen any bigger. I can do that.
That's actually an improvement right there.
Yeah.
Really?
A little bit.
Yeah. I just wish so I've seen certain RPG streams where what they do is they actually separate this into two separate windows, so they'll have the dice rolling thing like completely on a strip on the side so everyone
That makes
can
sense.
see
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
rolling, and then you'd see the map a lot bigger because then you can you can actually put the map into OBS so it becomes not something that's being projected. And then also, but one of the problems I find with OBS and those who have used it, it's a pain in the ass. So what I actually have to do is we do a Zoom call, a video Zoom call, and then I have to take each of your individual camera feeds and crop them. And then I have to move them into a specific space on this window. So that's like we got to get on like a half hour early, and we have to go through all that.
Yeah, it's a little awful.
Figuring. But the nice thing about it is the look is very customized and clean. So, you can definitely, definitely take a look at that. But we'll make a decision. One of the things I'd actually like to try to do is go back to is to try the Streamlabs one again, the one that basically we all kept freezing up on.
Oh no!
To see if, but I don't know. I'll make a decision as to the next session. But
I'm curious if I'll freeze in my new place.
What's that?
I'm curious if I'll freeze in my new place with my better internet.
Oh. All right, so yeah, maybe I have a feeling it was more the Streamlabs set than it was any of our, because that's they're trying to go, oh well, your internet's horrible. It's like, no, it's not. I have a freaking dedicated line coming to the house. It's only split between two or three, or maybe two computers and a couple of devices. There's no way. And that's why I got that's why I went over to Streamyard, because I'm like, I just wanted to prove a point. And we did Streamyard, and everything worked absolutely fine.
So I can install Vaesen, the operating system, in Foundry. What is it otherwise that you have that would have made Foundry useful for this?
Well, so if we ended up using Foundry, I'd have to actually then move all the characters over to that, which may or may not be time consuming. But with Foundry, well, I don't know. Well, so Terry, maybe this week we'll take a look at it and see if it might be a better way to present. Because if, say for example, everything is done within if everything's pretty much clean within Foundry, we could just do a Zoom call at that point, and I think it would present better, but we'll see.
It's an option. We can run through it. If you say you got the VTT stuff through a Humble Bundle, is that right?
No, I actually bought it for that one. It was like $20, but then actually once but I don't know, I'm the game master on your server. I'm not particularly part of the server. I was just wondering if it would work that way, but probably not.
It looks like I can install the official system for it, and there are a few things that can be purchased to use for it. Is this a Wicked Secret and Other Mysteries journal? No. Which one are we doing here? A Season of Mystery? Is that what this is? Seasons of Mystery? I don't know what the name of this thing is.
It's called Dance of Dreams.
I don't see that available as a setup.
It might actually be because it's the adventure with the core books. I'm almost assuming that it probably might.
Let me go to the core book and take a look here. Premium Foundry content. Does it say anything about it? 5 scenes, including the Dance of Dreams mystery.
Yep, that's
So
it.
that is it. If I look at this, the cost of it is missing, not present.
I think I paid $22 for the.
Surely it must be here. Let me back up and see what it's going to tell me. If I click the purchase button, what does it say? It says la la la.
Well, anyway, with that said, let us go ahead and say goodnight to our audience, because I'm sure they don't want to hear us talking about things. So this, like I said, this was kind of experimental theater. So definitely we will be returning in a few weeks to our usual welcome to the Grindhouse. We're just trying to give this a bit of a test, and then hopefully later this year or early next year, we'll just do some separate streams that are just going to be RPG streams. So right now we're just trying to find what works best. But anyway, I'm going to wish everyone a good night, and we will all talk soon. Dana, take care, man.
Yeah.
We'll talk later.
Good night, audience.
Good night.
/Dana.
Yeah.